My friend, just thought to let you know that I think about you every night when I'm here alone and you're there at home.
Good evening. The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
You fucking what, Boris? Run that by me again?
You must stay at home.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. Big Ray, we're weekend off. Weekend off? Weekend off? That's what we thought, didn't we? Yeah. Anyway, come on. Welcome to lockdown and the advent of Freaky Fridays. And the Music Connoisseurs Wednesday, where I did a different theme every week. There was some shite in there, wasn't there? And the Swing Sundays, yeah, let's not forget that. So, and the Dirty Grease Tribute Show. So, no, come on, move on. Yeah, and the Neil Diamond Show. And all the other malarkey. So, welcome. Me and Big Ray. She will appear in future episodes because I'm away at the minute. And to be honest, I thought there's only so much porn you can watch. So, I'm going to wade into cracking on with this. Because we're going to cover every aspect that was ours, yours, lockdown with regards to me and Big Ray. And you lot, the Freaky Friday bunch. There's going to be tears. There's going to be plenty of laughs. Bit of music. Loads of photographs, some of ours. Thank you for sending yours. So basically, grab a drink, strap in, and crack on and enjoy the, sometimes it's fair to say, bumpy ride that was lockdown. I've wanted to do this for a long while, and I don't know whether I needed, I don't go with that time to process stuff. It just seems the right time to document it, really, because it was a bizarre period that a lot of us went through. Sadly, as will be highlighted in later episodes, not everybody got through. And I say we'll get on to that. And I'll be honest, when old fuzzy-head lion geezer comes on telly, I was a bit gutted because at the top of the show there, you saw that I was straight off the back of a brilliant Neil Diamond tribute show down in Cardiff. We had a diary full of solo and duo gigs for the rest of the year. So I'm not alone in thinking that this lockdown's going to be about a month at tops, innit? Yeah. You're a liar if you're not nodding your head, remembering in agreement. And it was evident from the off that being a vocal stylist of some 30 plus years, it didn't really constitute me having the much heralded title of key worker. No, you were basically chuck on scrap heap fella. There you go. But hey, you suck it and see, don't you? And my mum always taught me to put a little bit of rainy day money away. So, but I didn't have the foresight to put enough away to cover a fucking 2-year monsoon. Who would have done? Because it didn't have rain down on us, didn't it? So many false dawns when you thought you're getting out, yeah. So, it's fair to say, me and Big Ray had a bit of time on our hands. So she comes up with an idea one afternoon. A couple of weeks into it, I think it was. She says, why don't you do a gig in the dining room? Why don't we do a gig in the dining room? A fucking gig in the dining room? Yeah, give it a go. So we set the full PA up like we would at any normal gig. We put the lights up and everything. Smoke machine, I remember we had a smoke machine in the early days till we realised it was a little bit of a confined space. And my cat was coughing his ring up at the time as well. Who's sadly dead now. But hey-ho, Rach killed it. So, yeah, and we thought we'd open it up as a Facebook live special and not to like just your friends list. So it was open, which was bang on. And it was the first of what would become affectionately known as Freaky Fridays, the Groovy Gang, the Nutters Club. I can vividly, I was thinking about it yesterday, I vividly remember the first one we did for two reasons. Firstly, because I was on my best behaviour. Because you realise quickly that, particularly in current climate and as was then, because there was some mad shit happening other than the pandemic. And you just knew that anything you said that was recorded and went out there could be held against you a piece of piss. So you had to watch your P's and Q's, and, well, P's and Q's are all right. It was the curly cur that she wasn't keen on, and I dropped that a few times. But yeah, I remember I was on my best behaviour, and number two, it ran at about an hour and a half, which was by far the shortest of ever increasing length of what was first called the Boom from Me Room. But what was really clear from the off was people were wanting, I would even go as far as to say they were craving entertainment that wasn't TV or some bollocks you watch on your dodgy stick. And there was mad for it. So at the end of the first gig, he was like, well, I gave her such a bollocking, I remember, because probably unbeknown to anybody but me, probably as well, thinking about it, probably unbeknown to Rach, oblivious. She got one of the verses wrong, but how I laugh at that now. Fucking verse wrong. Half the time, she didn't even remember to turn the bastard microphone on or even know what song we were singing. So, yeah, for me to have a big dig about getting one verse wrong seems a little bit crackers now, doesn't it? So, yeah, that was it. We were off and running. And as early as the first weeks, we were getting random messages because, like I say, it was open to everybody. We were getting one of the first messages that came through was a guy, and he put, "Hi guys, chilling out in my swimming pool in California. You guys are doing a great job. Sounds fantastic, particularly Tennessee whiskey," which was like, wow. You know what I mean? I barely talked to my brother who lives next door. And then this geezer from fucking California's direct messenger. So it was weird. It blew me mind, big style. And it highlighted really how small the world had come really, really quickly. And with no time at all, I've had to write these down. We had people following us from Finland, Katya, lovely lass. I went on to record a favourite song for her and send it her. She did ask me. So I said, yeah, of course, you know, you've supported us throughout. Who else was with us all along the way? She even wishes us as well on a regular basis, which is lovely because, you know, I can't imagine me finding myself in Finland, to be honest. We had Tanya in France every week having parties on the balcony, pissing all the neighbours off. Who else we had? We had Leanne, Kerry, Tony, Nige Gelder, all them lot were from Australia. People closer to home. We had Jim in Scotland. Jim still texts us on a regular basis. Brian and Lindsay in Wales. Glenn Hayes, who is in contact nearly every other day, from Southern Ireland. Glenn Hayes. And then on top of all that, you also, I would say we had every county represented in in England, without a doubt. Every county, somebody was chipping in. And the weird thing that knocked me for six out of all of it, we had a fan club in Immingham. You heard me right, yeah. A fan club in Immingham. Because that is crackers, isn't it? Because I honestly didn't even know that that they had electricity in Immingham. And I say it was a fan club. It was more Lofty and his missus and a few that we know from Blossom Way Club. But nevertheless, they were on every week in, week out. So that was it. The gear stayed up in my dining room. But it was only going to be a couple of weeks, wasn't it? Yeah, a month tops. Let's see how that goes. So who remembers talking about that, the early days? We set it up in my dining room, and I had this brick wall, full-length brick wall, with I've still got, but it's in the studio now, a stuffed golden pheasant. It's a German golden pheasant called Joy. Can't go into why it's called that, but if you know, you know. So there was Joy there on the back wall, and then people were saying, somebody from down south says, "Oh, that's a great studio. Have you set your garage up?" And I thought, how many garages have got a fucking chandelier in? Yeah. And later, when people were allowed out, who wanted to pop and say hello and stuff, and I said, "Oh, come and have a look where the magic happens." They were astounded that it was our dining room, because apparently from your vantage point of viewing, it did look like quite a large space. But trust me, it wasn't. It was proper headache every day, every week, whenever you did it, because it was such a confined space. But a big bonus was my fridge was 10 foot away. Yeah, and never unstocked. Mainly by you lot giving us shit. So I used to frequently visit the fridge when I would leave Rach unattended and watch her struggle to try to get through a full song on her own for a bit of limelight. If you'd have seen some of the antics that went on off camera while the other one was on camera, I don't know if we've got any videos anywhere. It was like trying to put each other off and stuff, you know what I mean? That type of thing. I'm sure you can imagine. So that was it. That was literally the setup, which I will put some photos on later of the early days setup. And another crazy aspect of the early months was cast your minds back. The bizarre fucking heat wave of April and May. It was unheard of for them 2 months to be as sticky and scorchio as it was, which is just what you want for a 3-hour gig in your fucking dining room with the blinds shut, in the knowledge that you lot are loading it up on furlough and having your household fucking parties with us as the turn. Yeah, but it was catching on, and it certainly was. I put a shout out last week to send some of you memories. They're not in chronological order or anything. So 1 or 2 memories that you've sent us that, yeah, we were aware of, but for you to relive. I saw him the other week, actually, and he still asked for the song. So here's one of the early memories. A good friend of mine and his missus, they live in Grimsby. I know it's shocking that I allow people from Grimsby in my life. It baffles me. So they're tuned in every week, and it's fair to say that Gaz LaShawn and Karen do like a tipple. Yeah, they really do like a tipple. And a bit of a dance. Yeah, so furniture shifted. They sent a request this particular week. And it was, can you sing Billy Ocean, Red Light Spells Danger? Well, there's a clue in the title where this is going, isn't there? So, Gaz dances. Have you ever heard that saying? Dance like nobody's watching. Yeah. Well, Gaz dances like he fucking can't. Because he can't. So he's giving it rock all, and then he gets a little bit giddy, doesn't he? And starts thinking he's one of them. He transforms in front of Karen's eyes into one of them Northern Soul dancing wankers. Boots the fucking settee, busts his toe, and you know whose fault it was? Mine. Oh yeah, it was my fault. As was a lot of things we got blamed for. Arguments within households about there's such a thing as a shepherdess. Yeah, arguments about Big Ray's ridiculous regional accents. They were awful. Yeah, they were awful. Borderline racist, I'll be honest with you. But, you know, it was a much simpler time, wasn't it? And who can forget the badly acted out charades? Because she did disappoint me, because when we were doing the charades, to give you a clue as to, you know, the songs that we were going to perform, it was to get you interested and reinvent the wheel every week. So it wasn't just the norm, it was entertainment. But she would never do Come On Eileen. No. Or she wouldn't let me do it either. So that was one of the memories shared. And recently, before I come away, because I'm in Wales at the minute, that's why, like I say, I've got a bit of downtime. So Rach can't be on this episode, but she will be on many of the latter ones. One of my oldest friends, his wife in Winterton, she sent me a lengthy. It was more of a story really, but I've condensed it down because it is worth pointing out from her perspective. And Kate was working at Tesco in Winterton, as I believe she still does. And she was having a tough time with one thing or another without going into it. So this was what she sent me last week, and these are in her own words. All right. And it's imagery. It's imagery, and I'm sure it resonates with a lot of you lot as to how you approached the Friday nights. So Kate says, my highlight of the week was Freaky Friday, 6 p.m. I would dress up as if I was going out, put full makeup on, a plethora of wigs, because she does like a bit of daft, get the drinks all sorted out, and even bought a fucking disco ball. So it was party central at the Peace House. And a few drinks had disappeared, and the world just went away for that one night. And she said, you know, it was priceless. And she says, I can never, ever, ever thank you enough. And I probably agree with that. Yeah. I did an awful lot. Rach didn't do a lot, but yeah, I did an awful lot for your mental health state. Yeah, luckily I think I tipped most of them the other way, but you know. But Kate, like loads and loads of you, were extremely supportive of us two from the off. And even when we saw a couple of weeks ago, she will always be a valued friendship, not just because she's married to one of my best mates from school, but it was a massive connection. And like loads of you, we did a gig a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of people met each other for the first time. This is like a year and a half later. And it's just great that they've got such a connection, and we were a vehicle to allow that. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. So yeah, Kate, peace. Love you, kid. But anyway, that's enough about Kate. Fuck off. I'm going to go grab a drink because we're locked in, aren't we? And I'll be back in a sec. So get yourself a tipple. More to chat about. There's loads to come. Catch you in a mo. Three, two, one. Back in the room. Chink, chink, peeps. Little bottle of Cherry B on me holidays. I do like Cherry B. You know I like a bit of tramp juice. So, we are we're into month 2 now. And it's becoming more apparent that this might go on a bit longer than anticipated. So along with Freaky Fridays, I started doing the odd Sunday swing session. Really enjoyed that to accompany your Sunday roast. And then I added the Wednesdays, which was, there's no two ways about it, it was massively self-indulgent on my part. And I was glad to have you on board. So I did a different theme every week, like a different genre, different theme, starting reinventing the wheel every fucking week. So I started off on the Wednesdays with straight blues rock. Did what it said on the tin. And it was a mainstay throughout. And then I think I did 2 or 3 1960s. I did 4 parts to the 1970s. The Best of the Brits. I did a punk and indie night where I was singing Sex Pistols, Stone Roses, right everything through. I did an 80s night. And so on, and on, and on, and fucking on. But in that time, when we were locked down, I went through over 200 new songs, most of which I will never sing again. I mean, when am I ever gonna be called upon to sing Matchstick Men and Matchstalk Cats and Bastard Dogs? And then in the next breath, YMCA. Yeah. So the bit of background on it I had, because I was doing the Freaky Fridays with Rach, I had from Saturday till pretty much Wednesday afternoon to learn a whole new show. So what I would do, I'd burn them off onto CD, and then I would go out to remote locations like laybys. I looked like a mad dogger for most of it. Riverbanks, anywhere that I could run through and up to a standard that I would deem acceptable for the night. Although it's fair to say a couple of songs that sounded a lot better in the van didn't really work on the night, so you will never hear these lips singing Love Will Tear Us Apart again or Cool for Fucking Cats. Not gonna happen. And also, one of the Wednesdays, I was enjoying it that much. It ran out at 5.5 hours. And I don't even think I did an awful lot of talking either. I've said it on many an occasion, and I'll always sedate it. In my 30 plus years of being an international cabaret artist, vocal stylist, these were by far the best gigs I've ever done in this blag of a job. There was an instant connection. That was the thing that did it for me. Because normally prior to lockdown, you'd be singing in a pub, and if somebody was taking notice, happy days. Generally, it's a load of fucktards who just have their head in the phone. Why bother coming out to a live event or trying to film you? You know what I mean? You're missing the point. You're at a live event. Why go home and watch it when you're fucking here? Don't get me going on that. So I felt such an instant connection with people watching. And I felt as it was direct to you. And it was honest. It was honest. It was open, and it was extremely vulnerable as well at times. But massively fulfilling. And since then, whatever expressions of gratitude that you bestow in our direction, trust me, if you had a good time, it was not as good a time as I was having. I fucking loved it. I would sing into a camera to the world for the rest of my life if it meant you could earn a living from it. I loved it. So that was that. But a cruel twist of fate that was glaring at the time was the lack of urgency with regards to the government help for self-employed people, but more so, becoming more evident, the bottom of the fucking food chain, which was hospitality. Yeah, we were getting proper shit on. But we didn't complain, you cracked on, didn't you? Like I said, some people didn't get through it. So, harsh as it was, crack on. Rach lost 2 jobs. I lost 1 job, she lost 2 jobs. She's a beautician. I know, you wouldn't think of it to look at her, would you? So money was getting tight because the rainy day money, I'll be honest with you, very quickly got pissed up the dining room brick wall. So for the first time in 30 years, I had no option but to sign on. I've never shared this story with many people outside of very small circles, so it's worth sharing because what a fucking palaver, seriously. The government you can't blame them because they didn't know what they was doing, did they? Or did they? I'm not bringing politics into this. The government were putting into place, they'd already sorted out the furlough and everything. And they were putting something called the SEISS. The SEISS, which was the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme. No, it was a fucking scam. So, but it'd take over 3 months to even get you to a level where you could even begin the claiming process. So I had to sign on via an email link. So I filled it all in and I signed on, and I shit you not, within 25 minutes, a representative from the job centre rang me, because you have to put your mobile phone and shit like that. Big Brother's watching. So yeah, she rang me to welcome me as a new claimant. And I'm gonna run by you how that first conversation went, because it was fucking comedy gold. So for what's it called? For data protection purposes, I won't tell you what the lady's name was. She was called Heidi. Which, you know what I mean? It's all right for you. Your fucking granddad's a woodcutter. I ain't got a job. He'll look after you. So, I'll be playing both parts in this story. Phone rings. Heidi. Hello, Mr. Baxter. As a new claimant, I must highlight the jobs that are available to you today. Bearing in mind, I'd only signed on 25 minutes previous. I've known people signing on for 10 fucking years, have never rang them once. So, yeah, I says, yeah, okay, Heidi. Nice to see. Nice to hear from you. She says, right, I need to point out the jobs that are available for you today. You'll like this. Heidi said, Humberside police are taking on. And that tickled old Ernie. I says, to be honest, Heidi, historically, you can probably rule that one out. And then she says, okay, the army are recruiting. I says, if you check your records, Heidi, I'm 53. And a pacifist. And a conscientious objector. So, she went, oh, okay. And it went, there was like a little lull in the conversation. And when she eventually come back on, she seemed very excited on my behalf, right? And she went, oh, this has just flashed up on our system. She says, this sounds really, it's like she was talking to a fucking 5-year-old. She says, yeah, this has just come in. This sounds really good, Mr. Baxter. She says, it's a 3-year apprenticeship as a trainee master butcher. Really? I said, Heidi, look, I says, I'm sorry if I appear to be ungrateful. I says, I've got a job, which, incidentally, I'm fucking very good at, but I'm just not allowed to do it currently. Okay. So, thanks. And if you could just send us a bit of money, that'd be much appreciated. So that went on for a few months. But I signed off a lot earlier than I could have done, because it was farcical, seriously. You had to, I think it was about 4 months later, you had to agree. You had to agree to a ridiculous statement that in order to receive your 400 quid a month, you had to prove that you had actively seeked work for 35 hours a week. You had to prove that by saying you'd whatever, you'd put in for jobs, you'd gone to places. I mean, actively seeking work for 35 hours a week, that's a fucking full-time job, looking for a job. So I thought, bollocks to this. And the other thing was, at the time, when we did eventually get the SEISS, it was done at 80% of 3 years of your books that you had to send in for self-employed people, because all self-employed people, your books, your accounts are very representative of what you earn, as we all know, because self-employed people are very honest. So that was a massively flawed system, that was, because people were getting 10 grand fucking handout, 50 grand for starting a business up, which was going to fold the week after. And fucking detection free, they never paid any of that shit back. And there's me trying to fucking prove that I've looked for a job I don't want for 35 hours for 400 quid. Seriously, get a grip. It was just wrong. But at least you know a little bit of background of that time. And it was still, unbeknownst to us, it was still early days. But I do remember the feeling of never really, it was like what I would imagine wartime would have been like. There was a massive feeling of community and belonging and help and looking out for people's well-being. Back end of lockdown, or to middle to back end of lockdown too, all of that went tits up and people started fucking grassing and turning into turncoats. But that's the nature of the beast, I guess. But them early days, it was a lovely feeling, because I've not really been a people person for such a long time, because when you do the job that I do, you deal with people a lot, and they're fucking idiots. So yeah, it was a welcome change. So anyway, back to Freaky Fridays. So the way that Facebook Live worked was you were watching, we were performing, and there was inbuilt, if you go into the system of Facebook, there's an analytics page. So say we had 100 people watching on Freaky Friday. By the next day, you could look, and that had been shared. Seriously, sometimes it had been shared within 24 hours, up to like 18,000 times. And I said to Rach, I said, this is just fucking mental. Because you could pick the biggest pub in Scunny that, say, for instance, you can get 200 people in. If you were singing in there on a Saturday night, if there was 200 people in, you're lucky if 20 are fucking taking any notice. And now you've got the world wanting to watch you, in effect. Yeah, it was just, it just amazed me. And the ever-growing email threats in them early days as well. We would finish a show and then we'd get all these email threats regarding copyright infringements from various sources about the music and the content and stuff. And Rach took it quite serious. And I just thought, bollocks, to be honest, crack on. But we were rocking, loving life and gathering, fair to say, a community. Yeah, I mean, most of you probably should have been in an institution, but you found a place that you felt comfortable. Thursdays, this was a thing. Thursdays seemed to be like a trigger. Thursdays and Saturdays, so the night before Freaky Friday and the morning after, we would wake and there'd be stuff left in the bin or behind my van or at the side of the fence. You'd been there in the night and left us stuff, which was lovely, fucking lovely. There's no better than waking up and finding some fucking special brew, is there? Or dolls started appearing. Yeah, and she was a mainstay as well, old Slutty Sally. Do you remember her? She was a bit of a minx, wasn't she? And off a lady called Joyce Cox. She gave me a bottle of Porcine, which is it's Irish moonshine. It is fucking horrific. I downed the absinthe. I was happy with the absinthe. That was on one of the live shows. I do remember that one. Well, I remember starting the show, not finishing it. So, thanks Joyce Cox for the Porcine. It came in handy when I eventually did get to go to the Scottish Highlands, and we used it as a firelighter. So, bizarrely, the Dolls, Sally and Charlie, cheeky Charlie, he fell off stage one night. I had him on my mic stand, and it smashed. I was absolutely gutted, to be honest. I've got family members I'd rather never seen again than having Charlie break. So the Dolls were getting more popular, and us, Charlie opening the show. And I blame it on watching Ken Dodd with his Diddy Men and Michael Bentine's Potty Time, because I quite enjoyed making this imaginary world. And you lot fucking bought into it wholeheartedly. You were loving it. And we were watching other entertainers, because there was, you know, most people were cracking on, and it was evident entertainment was massive and it was needed. And I think what attracted most people to us, as opposed to whatever, watching somebody else, I think it was quite an honest product. We weren't doing it to like a huge performance to show off or anything. It was there was a good balance of stupidity and reality, because we did fall out. We fell out live on a regular basis, in fact, pretty much every fucking Friday. But we also had the ability to sing the fuck out of any song that we chose, apart from Call for Cats and Love Will Tear Us Apart Again. So it was loose, but clinical, if that makes sense. I think that's how I'd sum it up. It was loose and clinical, yeah. But it seemed to capture the imagination, and it grew and grew. And most of the shows ran for about 3 hours. They would have been a lot shorter if Big Ray had have nailed Barbra Streisand's part in You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore. That was a fucking long night, wasn't it? Oh, mate. God knows how many take one, take two, because you doing this song until you get it right. We will do this song and do it till you get it right. It's the only way you're going to learn, isn't it? Lofty from Immingham still chuckles about this. Even a week ago he was laughing about it. So when she eventually composed herself, because she got a bit of a fit of the giggles, didn't she? She'd had a bit of a tipple. When she eventually composed herself, the first line in the song is right. So she went, she hadn't turned the fucking microphone on, had she? Half an hour pissing about to go for the final take. Yeah, it was unscripted comedy gold. It was fucking funny. We occasionally cringingly watch one or two of them back. Not the whole thing, but just to remind you how daft it was at times. And she does sing that song very, very well now, to be honest. But that memory will haunt her forever. In a good way. You can have good hauntings, can't you? So, that brings me to the introduction, the end of part one. I'll put a song on. You've asked for one or two songs that helped you a lot. So, keep sending the photographs. And like I say, Big Ray will be joining me on future episodes, but I'm away for the next 5 or 6 days, so I'll probably get part 2 done. But enjoy, you freaks, and keep sending me the photos. All right, I salute all of you. Chink chink, cherry bee down the neck. And don't tell anyone, but I love you.
feel when it's real, I keep it alive. The road is long, there are mountains in our way, but we climb still every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world we know, up where the clear winds blow. Song and all they used to be live their lives looking behind.
All we have is here and now. All our lives are better find.
Oh, the road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world below, up where the clear winds blow. Time goes by, no time to cry. Life's you and I alive. Today, love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world below, up where the clear winds blow. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up